Good evening everyone. This video tonight is about Gwen. I was supposed to do this video with Gwen together, but unfortunately she passed away. She passed away last Saturday afternoon on the 22nd of February. However, I just want to share the good memories with you because we had plenty of good memories together. And I remember when I first came to this country, because of the difference in languages and culture, guess what she would do? She would send me back to France. How would she send me back to France? She would send me back recorded delivery or express delivery, depending on the mood of the situation. But at the destination, when I was supposed to be sent back, there was nobody living at the address. So I was sent back straight to the UK. And so that, I don't know how many times that would happen, to be honest, but I would say probably quite, I don't know, more than the figures I have on my end. Anyway, definitely. So that's one of the good thing. I always came back, and then we always talked together, really. And then, so that was quite good, really. And I met Gwen, so when I first came to this country, it was in 1991, I met Gwen soon after I arrived in this country. And then we both Buddhists, we practice Buddhism, and that's how we met. Yeah, voila, and then that's it. And it was probably the best thing that happened in my life, really. And Gwen has really had really a good heart. She's very tolerant, understanding about other people's situations and feeling and all that. So I think that was a great quality. But she was also a strong woman. It was difficult to make her shift sometimes. But that's okay. That's just Gwen, isn't it? We've got to accept people for who they are, or otherwise what's the point? That's what it's all about. It's also about tolerance. And then Gwen liked her routine. Let me explain. We all like our routine, don't we? So she, her favorite shops is, not to mention, Sainsbury's. Not to mention how it is Sainsbury's. She loved it because she could collect her points on the Nectar card, and truly enough, after 12 months we had quite a lot of points, and we can do a great shopping, which was great because I left the bank balance alone. But she liked that routine of the shopping thing. So she had a support worker coming every day, Lisha, a great young woman, and that's the way it works. So we went shopping, helped her to get in the car and all that, because she had some difficulties to walk towards the car, so it was really an effort for her to get out. So anyway, nevertheless, get ready, get in the car, go out to Sainsbury's. And I had also my own routine with that. Don't get me wrong, so we get to Sainsbury's, we always add something to it. Always add something to it. And my favorite meal is usually the salmon with the green salad, because I try to eat as much green as possible. And Gwen, in the last few months, 2 or 3 months of her life, starting to become more aware that we need to eat vegetables. So she started to change in that respect, so which was great, which was fantastic. Anyway, so once we get in Salisbury, something to eat first. I had my books. Gwen usually went on a mobility scooter just outside to have a little bit of a cigarette. That was Gwen. Then she would phone Alicia, and then we will go go shopping, and I was happily reading my books. Books on usually on public speaking or self-development. Public speaking, because that's one of my favorite activities, and one of which I want to take on further. And also books on self-development and motivational books, in other words. Anyway, regardless of that, so she goes shopping with Alicia. I am happily sat, drinking my latte away and reading my books. And after half an hour, 45 minutes, sometime an hour, my phone would ring. and on my phone, Gwen darling, that's how I used to call her, her name will pop up, and then she would say, check out, and I would say, already, and then she would say, yes, okay, I'm coming, okay, coming, done. So that was our routine for months and months, and we just got used to it. We just got used to it, and that was great. I had my hour and a half sometimes in the base days, and then I'll read my book away, make some notes for different things and then different projects I was working on. So that was just fantastic. But by the end, she got a bit more tired than usual, so the shopping won't last as long, unfortunately. And so when we did the last shopping with her, I had no idea it was Gwen's last shopping. Obviously, for me, it is a shock, very sad, because she really was my soulmate, and I really loved her dearly. So I miss her. Oh, I really do. And but now she's at peace. She's oh, I'm really struggling. She's at peace. It's all right. It's okay. She's at Paris, and then so I went to see her at the Chapel of Christ at Bolton Royal Hospital, and now she's really at peace, and she didn't suffer in the last moment of her life. That's what the doctor and the nurses said, which is great, which is fantastic, yeah. And I remember, oh, there was a good thing when she came to France with me. I mean, that probably, 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe, or maybe a bit longer, I can't remember. So we went down by car, driving down, happy days, and that was the good stuff. She tried to use the French language, and which French people usually love it when you try to use their own language, because to us it's part of our culture, and if you do that, if you go to France and try to use language and French, and however bad you think your French is, it doesn't matter. If you try it, the door will open before you. So she went into the butcher shop. It was the shop we used to go on a regular basis. It was a family shop, really. Family business. We used to use them because they had good quality meat and a lot of delicate, a lot of stuff like that. Anyway, and she said to me, I just want to ask a glass of water. I want to do it. So she was determined to ask for a glass of water. So she goes to the shop. It was very, very hot at the time, I remember. She was wearing a white blouse at the time, I remember that very clearly. She went to the shop, I went to ask. So she asked me first how to say it, so I told her. But you know what, it was really great, because it took her about 20 minutes to half an hour to have a glass of water. So the butcher's wife and her husband were trying to understand Gwen and vice versa, but none of the people, they didn't give up. They didn't give up. In the end, she got a glass of water. Yeah, victory. And then the butcher and his wife didn't give up either. So they managed to understand each other. I think that was great. Great communication and stuff like that, yeah. Because obviously it was not a bar or anything like that where normally this is why you would ask a glass of water. But because the weather was so hot, and it was so hot out there, it was really, really hot. And so at the time, I don't think my parents were in the house for some reason. So this is why she wanted a glass of water. And they gave that glass of water to her. I think that's great. And then she always wanted to try, however little French she knew. She always wanted to try it. I think that's great. And when you do that in France, for anybody who's going to watch this video, if you do go to France, please try to use French, even if it is a little bit. Even if it is a little, because French people are going to help you. Once you try to use it, you'll see it, you'll experience it. I would actually advise anyone who is going to go to France to try it, because you'll see the results. Yeah. Most people will help you and open the doors for you, and then it become easier to make friends and then things like that. So I think that was great, and then we had plenty of other good memories. So we used to go our son in Yorkshire on a regular basis and that kind of thing. So that was another routine we had up and going, and then stuff like that for quite a while. And so yeah, and then she has two great sons, and then Stuart and Jace, and then yeah, two fantastic guys. So really, yeah, I think it's great. What else can I say about Gwen? Well, just loved her. I'm going to miss her. I've got to turn a page in my life. I have to do that. But all she wants us to do, because I think she knew at some point she was going to go. So she told one of her relatives, make sure you look after each other and you eat well. That's what she was concerned about. Okay? And she doesn't want people to be sad when we have to do what we have to do, if the funeral and all that. Because she, even before she was bad like she was, she told me, man, you know, I don't want anybody to not to be sad and to wear black ties and all that. I just want people to enjoy themselves. Because when my time comes, that's what she says, my time comes. But life carries on, however painful it might be. Yeah? So that's what she wanted. So she wants us to carry on and get on with each other and grasp what we've got ourselves left in our life. It's okay. So to finish, I would just say Gwen's message was, you know, get on with your life. You know, just go for it. That's what she would say. I don't know what other words I can use, to be honest. I am a bit lost and a bit sad, obviously, when I am talking about that. I'm feeling very emotional. But that's normal, isn't it? That's perfectly normal. And being able to express your emotions, even crying, there is nothing wrong in crying, but that could be obviously the topic of another video altogether. There is absolutely nothing wrong in crying, whether you're a man or a woman. There is absolutely nothing wrong about it. Yeah, you got to be able to let your emotions, and then and I am pleased that in one of the last the day when I was at the hospital, and one of the nights I just came back home for about 5:30 in the morning. I spent all night in the ward and I was holding her hand. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it, because if I had not done it, I think I would have regretted it. Okay, so she would just say, so if she was here, she would say, you know, get on with your life, let's get on together. And then also, besides shopping, she had other interests. And the interests were 3 sports. She liked 3 sports. Rugby league, rugby union, and the other one, darts. And I enjoy darts myself, I really do. Yeah, because it's often on ITV4. I really do enjoy my darts. Anyway, and we had I like rugby league myself. No, sorry, the other one. Well, I also do like rugby league, but I like rugby union, and particularly I like the Six Nations. And she was so happy that the Six Nations was on. So she managed to, before the worst game, she watched the first 2 days of rugby, and then. How can you imagine? She has a Welsh background, and obviously I've got a French background. So, we know that in this occasion, France beat Wales by, I think, 4 points, yeah, 27 to 23. And I remember that Wales actually beat France about 8 or 9 times in a row, so it was about time France did something about it. But it's interestingly speaking, can you imagine in the household, one shouting France and the other one shouting Wales? Yeah, we probably wake up the neighbors. France, 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 Wales. So, and actually we had a way to wind each other up in a nice way. France, 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 Wales. And then she was really looking forward to watching the All Six Nations. Unfortunately, she has had the opportunity to do so. But the darts as well, she loved her darts. And me too, I really like watching the darts on ITV4, because I think it's mainly on ITV4. We don't have Sky or anything like that. And so that darts was really good. But she also enjoyed watching the rugby league. Not so much for me, but she enjoyed like some of the big teams, the big names like Liz Rhino, I believe. I think that's one of them. There is another one which was Salford, I'm not too sure the name.
Red Devils.
Oh yeah, Salford Red Devils. So yeah, that's it. Salford Red Devils, and I think there was the Warrington Wolves. Yeah, so there was that team. Or Wigan. At some point, she was a massive fan of Wigan. Every time we mentioned Wigan, oh bloody hell, she was watching it and all the rest of it. Wigan. That was one of the massive teams. Yeah, that she. Another team she likes is Leeds Rhino and stuff like that. Yeah, so she really liked a rugby league and the rugby union, and it was great because France is doing well this year, I must say. So let's hope they just carry on doing like they're doing. And so they've got a young team with new young players, and it seems to work. So hopefully this time is France's time. But obviously, as far as is concerned, it should have been Welsh time. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, so that's great all about Gwen. So she loved her shopping, but in the end she was a bit more tired, so the shopping went down a bit shorter and shorter. But she had a routine, and she was happy with it, like a support worker said. She was happy. She probably knew that that's probably the only pleasure she could have, I suppose, because of the difficulties in walking and all that. So she wanted to enjoy it, and that's what support worker said. She was happy with the routine, so I think that's the main thing, that she was happy. And she also passed away in peace, which is great, so I'm feeling emotional. And unfortunately we couldn't share the rest of the Six Nations. We're not quite finished though. I think there is a week or two left about it. So all I can say, I have to go to turn a page here. How difficult it might be, that page to turn. It's going to be difficult, but that's what she wants. She wants people to get on with their life. She wants people to be happy. But there is one thing she doesn't want. She doesn't want. However, the funeral are going to be organized. I'm not too sure yet how it's going to be. She doesn't want black tie or anything like that. She just wants people to carry on. And she spoke to one of our relatives and she said, make sure you look after each other. Make sure you eat properly. That's what she was concerned about. Okay, that's what she was really concerned about. I love you, Gwen. Goodbye.